Alright, so I decided to make this video reviewing the mini-series on Disney Plus that seemed to have just released called I Am Groot. I'm recording this episode outside, so don't mind the sounds of birds and cars and stuff. Anyways, basically, it's a mini-series about baby Groot. Like taking place before Avengers Infinity War, like before Guardians of the Galaxy 2, when Groot was a baby. In fact, the first episode shows Groot growing out of his plant pot that he was placed in at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy 1. But anyways, so this is obviously a ploy to get a bunch of money from Disney. They are known to weaponize cuteness in order to get so much money. Pretty much every company does that. They weaponize cuteness in order to get money. But that's just a fact of life, and I'm not going to knock the show for it. It's obviously meant to be a fun little mini-series that's enjoyed for like 30 minutes or so. And then never spoken of again. But anyways, first episode, like each of these episodes are really short, but the first episode is called Groot's First Steps. He's in his plant pot being taken care of drones, and he has a blanket, but then he grows big enough to where his plant pot starts chipping, like cracking from him being so big in it. So then the drones, I guess, are programmed to know when it's time to have him not be on the counter anymore. So they take him off of the counter that he was on and replace it with a bonsai tree. Like those tiny little trees that are in Japanese gardens that they like prune with their tiny little scissors. Yeah, that kind of tree. Anyways, Groot becomes jealous of it, and throughout the episode he tries to knock it down and get back up onto the counter where it was. And while fighting with it, he manages to knock himself and the tree off the counter, and his plant pot breaks. And that's when he finds out that he has legs now. He takes his first steps, and then he sits on the counter with the tree, and, just eat snacks together while watching out the window. Anyways, that was episode 1. Episode 2, I think it's called The Little Guys or something. But on an alien planet, Groot is trying to build a house out of sticks. He manages to do it. Don't ask why he's on an alien planet, though. They never explain the setting or anything. They just place Groot in a bunch of different situations. But anyways, he's on an alien planet that's very arid looking. And he makes a house out of little sticks and twigs, a big one too. But then an alien creature with an anteater looking mouth, looks like a mix between a jerboa and an anteater. But it ruins his house. It climbs inside and then it gets taken away by an alien bird. And then Groot has a meltdown for 34 minutes. Like, literally, he starts yelling and crying, and then there was a time card that said 34 minutes later. Anyways, he falls face first from his tantrum, and then he lifts up a rock to see a little tiny civilization of people. Little alien people that were like really tiny. They'd be like the size of ants. They're like the size of ants to Groot. And at this point, Groot is like the size of a Barbie doll or something. So they're even smaller. Anyways, at first, the aliens see him as a threat. They fight him with all their weaponry and technology, which are like tiny little lasers. And they pelt him until a leaf falls off of him. And then the leaf lands on the tiny civilization of people. And then they celebrate because they have food, a lot of it. And then Groot becomes excited. He runs over to a bush, grabs a bunch of leaves, and then runs back. But while he's running back, he accidentally steps on them and seemingly kills them all. So he just takes his foot out, he dumps the leaves down onto the ground, and slowly covers it back up with the rock, and then leaves. But then it's shown like a second later that they didn't actually die. There are survivors. Anyways, the third episode. I forgot what it was called, but Groot is on the ship, and he finds a noise, or he hears a noise, and he investigates. He sees a bunch of not good signs, like a glass tube that's broken with a weird slime trail leading away from it. He sees a big, giant hole in the wall. And he goes over and he finds it's a little alien creature that is some kind of amorphous blob, and it takes on his form. It takes on a shape and it mimics him. And then Groot and the alien creature that looks like him started having a dance battle or dance off. And then as they're dancing, the alien creature then starts talking. It's like, no, don't dance like that, dance like this, and then starts performing a routine. So I guess he knows dance routines, and he shapeshifts. So anyways, the blob creature dances with Groot, takes on the form of Groot again, starts dancing with him, and then Groot, so he's like dancing too, and then as the creature is explaining routines and stuff and how to actually dance like him, He walks into the airlock, and Groot closes it, and then it's shot out of the airlock. And I know there's an Among Us joke in here somewhere, but I don't want to say it because it seems overdone. Like an alien creature that takes on Groot's form gets shot out of an airlock. That has got to be something. Like, there's an Among Us joke in there. Anyways. Then the episode ends. Like, Groot dances his way off screen, then the episode ends. Then, episode 4, Groot takes a bath. That's what he does. He's in an alien jungle. There's a weird rainbow creature with a squirrel's body and a bird's beak. And a huge freaking pompadour and tie-dye colored fur in the tree. Anyways, Groot goes inside of a mud puddle, and he takes a bath in it. He like throws in some berries. That's like bath bombs. He squeezes a little bioluminescent bug, which suds up in the bath like bioluminescent bubble bath. He grabs some plants. He breaks some plants off and uses them like cucumbers on the eyes. He rubs mud all over his head and arms. It's all steaming and stuff. He walks out and he's covered in leaves. Like, literally, he looks like a chia pet. He's all covered in leaves and stuff. So he like walks over to a reflective surface. He looks himself in the reflection and he thinks it's actually kind of nice. Because at first he was shocked, but now he's like, oh, this is pretty good. So he then starts trimming the leaves to make a style. But then the leaves fall off. And then, Groot then goes back to the mud puddle. And then he starts putting the mud on him again. And then he gets more styles. He keeps doing this. And the alien creature that I mentioned earlier in the tree keeps getting bothered by the noise Groot is making. So, then Groot has a new style. He shaped the leaves in the shape of a dress and a big wig, like French aristocrats, is what I'm getting here. Like tall wig with drooping buns on the sides, with a dress that's all poofy, so like a French aristocrat from the 1700s. But then the alien creature has had enough with Groot's noise, and then comes down from the tree, scratches his wig up, and the leaves fall off, and Groot's all sad. Then the creature starts making a noise that sounds like laughing. Then the rest of Groot's leaf dress falls off, and the creature starts laughing, or making a noise that sounds like laughing. And then it goes back up to its tree to rest. Then Groot has an idea. Then it smash cuts to Groot having a scarf of fur, or a stole, I think it's what it's called, when you have a neck piece that's made out of fur. And then it cuts to the creature, to the animal all bald and shivering. I'm like, come on, man. I know they tried to make it seem like it was mad and not very nice, but like that thing was just trying to sleep, and Groot was interrupting its rest. And also, I don't think the sounds it was making were actually laughing at him. Because if anything, it wasn't laughing at him and it was just vocalizing. Because there are tons of animals that sound like laughing, and you can't assume that they're laughing at you just because they sound like that. Like, if a hyena made that sound, do you assume it's laughing at you specifically? No. What about that laughing owl that went extinct a while ago? I bet if they were around, people wouldn't be hunting it down because they're afraid of it laughing at them. That's just silly. But anyways, yeah, I feel kind of bad for that animal. Like, whatever do to, whatever do to him. It probably just, got too excited and stuff. Probably just got too excited and then jumped down and landed on him on accident or something. I don't know. But I guarantee that the creature wasn't intentionally trying to ruin Groot's day. Anyways, then the 5th episode, Magnum Opus, that's what it's called. So, Groot is on the ship, the Milano, and he is gathering up a bunch of things. Rocket Raccoon is sleeping. He grabs some scissors and snips a bit of fur off of his tail, and then goes and he gathers up stuff. He goes into the shower and steals Drax's soap. He tears a piece off of the ship, which causes a fire. And like, he does a bunch of stuff. He puts glue and googly eyes and the hair on there and draws and stuff. And then he goes and he makes the piece that he took off the ship blow up, which causes a huge freaking explosion that destroys a big part of the ship. And he uses the pieces that was left as glitter because it's all shiny and sparkly. Rocket wakes up and he's running over towards the explosion that he heard. He sees the destruction. Groot's trying to repair a hole in the floor with duct tape. And Rocket's all like, how did you do this? Like, how? You somehow got the wall wet and on fire. And like at first Groot's like kind of sad because he's getting yelled at. But then he gives Rocket the piece of art that he was working on. And it's a picture of Groot hugging all his friends. Rocket, Drax, Gamora, Peter Quill, and and then Rocket sees it, and uh, like he finds it adorable, and he compliments the art piece, like a parent's like, "Oh, very good drawing. We'll put it right at the top of the fridge." And then they leave as they leave the room, then the floor starts sucking air in, probably because there's now a hole in the hull of the ship. So it starts sucking a rocket down a bit. Then Groot helps him escape, and they run off. And that's the end. That's the entire series. So I thought it was pretty cute and stuff. I would have liked to see more of the other characters. I know the show's about Groot, but I really would have liked to see the ones where he was on an alien planet. I would have liked to see an opening scene where Groot is dropped off at the near the ship. And while they go off on some adventure, at least like a bit where Groot looks up and you see everyone's like it's at a low angle, so you only see everyone's legs, and Groot looks up at them as they talk to him, and then they leave. That would have been nice, at least give a reason why he's in that setting. Like, oh, they just dropped him off, at near the ship while they went off on an adventure. But the only time you get to see any of the other members of the Guardians is at the last episode. You see Drax's silhouette as he's showering before Groot steals his soap, and you see him cutting off a little bit of fur from Rocket's tail, and then you see Rocket. Then you have Rocket running over to the explosion and scolding Groot, only to see the drawing and then not be mad at him anymore. Like, why can't there be more of that? More interactions between Groot and the rest of the Guardians, even if it's only at the beginning of the episode. But anyways, yeah, that's the mini-series, 5 episodes long, called I Am Groot on Disney Plus. I guess it's good for kids. Kids can watch it. It's a good distraction for like half an hour or something. And yeah, anyways, bye.